Or B, you are looking to play pure disruption, off-tempo plays, tempo breakers even, times where you can slow down but instantly speed up.
Here we go. We'll see what kind of equipment and heroes these teams will be picking up on their way into game number 2. The draft is upon us.
Interesting. So we're going to have Blacklist International again. On this blue side, we've got RRQ Akira there on the red. First band's already pretty much coming through, right? So there's the Guinevere band this time around. They go with that. Let's see what Blacklist International wants to prioritize here. Again, still a lot open that they can go ahead and go with.
Yeah, I like this a lot already. Again, just small adjustments of what is necessary for RRQ Akira. With the first pick going over to Blacklist International, they have so much to think about, right? Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's been a while since we've seen this picked up.
Yeah, I mean,
it's first pick.
Earlier today we did see a Boxia opener as well, right? But coming from Blacklist International, it does kind of tell us a story of what they want to do.
Technically, RRQ did a first pick Baksha as well, alongside a Claude.
Okay.
But this is so much more of a statement. This is more of a message sent.
Yeah.
We're going to do it in just a Baksha. Even while Matilda is out there, even while Angela is out there. And how does RRQ answer? They pick up their own Matilda.
And I think it's a good idea, right? At the very least, if something goes wrong, you have the guiding winds to save them from these problems. And again, it's not like one of those mechanical skill issues. It's all about timing. One button for timing. They take the Brody as well, and it feels like RRQ Akira, it is clear they're not looking for these objectives anymore. It's about the laners.
And it's going to come from very aggressive rotations from the Brazilian GOAT. He's rocking the Matilda this time around, a better hero that can step on the clutch compared to the Kufra, who needs to be very aggressive with those catches. He is the only South American player with 4 M-Series appearances, only missing out on the very first one. He was at M2, believe it or not, at M3, at M4, and now here in Manila for M5.
What's crazy is that his appearance has barely changed. He's still as good looking at M2 as it is now.
He never ages.
I don't know what they do over there, but they're doing it right.
It's probably in their diet, you know? I think they have a pretty healthy diet, Gideon.
It can't just be that. It can't just be that. I saw the trailers. I saw them doing physical activities. I saw them running up their monuments. Come on, it's gotta be a combination of things, as we do see the Bruno as well as the Lilia once again picked up for the side of Blacklist International, and it feels like they've sniffed this out. So if RRQ Akira is gonna be playing for the lanes and trying to break tempo, well, guess what? We're gonna maintain priority in all areas.
Was that the M3 video you're talking about?
Yes.
All right, here we go. That's RRQ Akira closing up their draft here, the first phase with the Akai. I'm liking it already. There's nowhere else this Akai could go. It just has to be in the hands of King.
I like it. A lot of disengage, a lot of ways to re-engage. It's clear where they want to invest their resources into Gusta Lagusta down by that gold lane. Now the question is supplementary. Like, again, we are facing off against UA's Lilia, and that's a lot of control, right? And I think that RRQ Akira are taking a very good approach at locking down. Okay, let's take away team fight, Minotaur. That's one issue out of the way. Second thing, something that can actually supplement the mid lane and zone out the rest. I'm thinking along the lines of maybe even a potential Kufra. I'm thinking along the lines of maybe an opportunity for Angela even. Dinky is pretty... oh boy, everybody's sour-pilled at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like today taught us a lot, right? And with that, I think that's the right choice for them to go with, right? They want to deal with that. They want to be able to set things up themselves and not have to worry about getting these initiations that they're looking for, or even if they have to disengage. Again, this is the strength of Matilda. You can... what you called earlier, the feint, right? The feint, is that right? The feint?
Yes.
To deal with that, to bait out some of these ultimates, bait out some of these engages, and kind of keep them on their feet if they can. So, you know, with that, there's the Terizla ban as well. XP lane being focused on here.
Yeah, man, Blacklist International, they're really testing Takashi at this point of time. They're like, okay, if you want to play structured again, go for that Benedetta. Just one more time.
We dare you. How about it?
He hate turret.
He just does. Oheb and turret don't really go well. Oheb has the highest turret damage in a game in the M series. Homie's at about 42,790 with Brody versus RRQ Hoshi in M4.
This is going to be someone's IGN after today.
I hate turrets.
He hates turret.
He just does.
Oheb don't like turret. Oheb like big damage, break turret, move fast.
Make snipes.
Make snipes, big damn.
There it is.
We go. The Novaria picked up by Coach Cabral on behalf of RRQ Akira. That's a lot of range. That's a lot of engagement range and variety for the Brazilians here.
I agree, but it still can get smothered. It's not necessarily a free win just yet, but one of the few picks that I would love to see here would be the Lolita.
No! Whoa,
Darn it!
no,
Darn it!
no.
The classics! They're bringing you back!
Renegade!
The double.
Mr. Bacarse!
There was cheers for that and the Benedetta.
Hitman! Come on! Oh, for both? Oh, I closed my eyes as soon as I heard the Estes, but what?
Yeah.
This is too much, you guys.
He better be wearing that blacklist skin. If it's
You
anything else,
guys.
it's a disappointment.
All right, we're in for a treat, folks. If y'all don't know, Blacklist is known for these heroes. That's it. They're going for the throat, Gideon.
They are going for the throat. I don't know. In most situations, like, you already have the Akai, but it starts to make sense now, right? Why they're getting rid of the Yuzong, why they're getting rid of the Terizla. You want to group together? Let's look for a punish. And now we're going on a subpar EXP laner in the Grok to try to make sure. You stick together, wild
Yeah.
charge.
When was the last time we saw Grok XP?
I do recall seeing it in M4, right? I remember seeing it there, but
Yes.
it's been a while.
It's a year ago, Joseph.
It's been a year ago?
That's a year ago.
What the?
A year? Thousands of miles away from here. That's a year ago, but all right. The numbers will show very, very soon. Help us make sense of these two lineups. RRQ wins on the counter index, though.
Yes, it looks like they win on the counter areas, but keep in mind, early to mid game goes over to Blacklist International, and even late game potential can be very scary. Right now, RRQ Akira want to play towards that goal lane, and if they have the options to play around neutrals, they will try, but it's not their main focus.
All right, here we go. Game number 2. Match point for the Codebreakers as they execute endgame protocol, picking up some signature heroes, paying homage to the queen. Renegade with the Estes. Who would have thought on day 2 we would have seen this? Let's get into the Land of Dawn. Check out these early rotations. It's a purple start for Sensui, the opposite for King.
Interesting. So they want to end up on the opposite sides of the map at the very least, and, well, sorry, the same sides of the map. But at the very least, we need to understand a couple of things, right? Number one, if we are expecting the... say it.
Whoa, whoa,
Hello?
whoa,
Say
whoa,
it,
whoa.
say it! Please.
Okay.
Buddy.
As you were saying. Very similar as first game.
Yeah.
Heart stopping.
Heart stopping, real, truly. I think at the very least we're expecting, in terms of the quote-unquote the EXP laners, Edward is always going to be able to make it to the neutrals faster than Takashi. It's just a matter-of-fact sort of situation, right? So RRQ Akira needs to add that into their calculations and really protect the gold lane.
It is the skin, by the way, right? So.
Oh, there it is, yes!
Yeah, there it is. And it's funny, too, because as you talk about the gold lane here, Gideon, you know, you also mentioned even the Ube back in what, it was M3 you mentioned, so now still, Ube going to be the play here for this game, and even looking at the emblems, you can see they mean business.
They mean a lot of business as well. Fighter emblems coming from Benedetta, Atypical, Impure Rages coming all around for the side of Blacklist International, and Takashi having, I mean, he's on the Grok. He needs this Weapon Master to really kind of step up and maintain control over that wave, or at the very least minimize the time he stays in it.
What I'm excited for is eventually what items these two teams build. If the Benedetta will be very different from the way Tekash built it, what kind of Grok we're going to be seeing in the hands of Astro Thunder, and how they're prepping up for this first turtle, by the way. About 5 seconds from now, Blacks International, small lead, 2 minutes in.
In case anybody was wondering when Blacklist International skin came out, quickly post that on screen. Every single time it happens, I'm going to mention it. But for now, at least, Takashi, he's going to hit level 4, which is great, but Sagan isn't level 4.
They're exactly where they want to be here. Again, going to force just King out. Even with the Electro final blow, Luis going to jump in with the guiding wind. Takashi looking for his own entry point, holding on to that wild charge.
Whoa!
King, though, will get the turtle. A good choice of positioning there for RQ Akira.
Whoa!
Oh! Almost, but it was Edward that also went down in that exchange.
Okay. Battle spells are already coming out here. Things are looking much better for RRQ Akira at the very least. I mean, Renegade's here to top him back up so that Oheb can stay in lane, but here comes Sagan and Luis.
The flank!
They're here. Oheb gonna dodge that shot, so he should be fine. Gonna have the heal as well.
Bang!
Okay, torn apart memory, not gonna find the mark.
Tether's going to keep him topped up, but even Renegade is running out of mana at this point. So again, Blacklist International, as the mid lane is under control, RRQ Akira putting a lot of focus down and reinforcing the gold. But even so, these neutral objectives, right, it should have fallen into the hands of Blacklist International, but unfortunately they weren't able to fully reset this turtle. Small mistakes, not that big of a deal. At the end of the day, Blacklist International, with or without the turtle, really makes no difference.
That's interesting. Looking at the gold earned, Tekash on top. That means he hasn't missed a single wave, and he's been hitting on cue. Wow. Hasn't really moved. Now Sensui playing footsies with King. Renegade going to be healing him up. Oh, it's not going to break out into a full-on fight.
Yeah, just making the way up here. You can see a lot of the focus, though, once again, where they want to on that gold lane, like Gideon mentioned earlier. This is crucial for both teams here. So, certainly going to be used by Luis, but they just pull back for now. Once again, we're still 30 seconds away from that turtle.
But why, though? But why would you want to go for the Circling Eagle in moments like this? Like, I guess it's just to open up the map, and I think Tekashi, at the very least, yes, proxy that wave. Keep Edward stuck in that lane for as long as possible. Get that information about how many jungle creeps are still available down on that bottom side. Relay it back to your jungle and keep control over this top. 6 more seconds until that turtle. And I think this time, our RRQ Akira, wow, okay.
Well, the whole team here for this one right now. Once again, both gold laners going to this other side of the map, so they're going to try to work around it. But if RRQ Akira can secure themselves the second turtle, they're going to be on their way to a better position than they were in the previous game, and right now they're after it. So Blacklist International, how do they answer? King's going to be able to secure the turtle, and they disengage after it. They make the right choice. RRQ Akira now gets the next objective.
Okay, it's RRQ Akira this time around playing a game of inches. They're not going to force the issue, not going to go for big wins. Instead, they'll take turtle after turtle, win these lanes, and then eventually, when are we looking for them to get the payoff? Oh, wait, Gusta.
Gusta going to be in trouble here. Whittled down and taken down easily for Yue, putting him on the board. So caught, again, this is kind of what we expect here with this lineup from Blacklist.
There's your answer, Leo. That's exactly what they wanted to do. Catch them off that rotation and make sure that once Oheb gets his very first item, then he's ready to rumble. More importantly so, right? Keep in mind that at least with King, he does have an inbuilt cleanse. So every time you see Edward trying to go for that, you know, Electro Final Blow into Petrify, it's not necessarily effective, but it does force out the heavy spin.
I mean, in a combat situation, yes. But look at the map. Blacks International finding these windows, finding their angles, pushing bottom lane in. So already the King of Kings' map very small. Oheb farming up, using that real estate. Look at that. 4K at 6.
Yeah, they're doing well at taking well, not really no man's lands POIs like River Crab, but also getting small invades, taking away Kobolds, taking away Beetles at the same time. And I think a lot of it is just well done. Oheb is just very efficient at what he does, and Yue is doing a good job at making sure that Sagan is a little late on that rotate, and even if he does rotate late, he's losing out on EXP. Thus why we see the EXP difference between Yue and Sagan.
Oh, KL1 is eating good. Look at that, almost 1,000 ahead. Sensui catches a face full of CC from these two chunky boys up top. Sensui wants to engage.
So Tekashi, quite tanky himself, should be just fine. Waiting for the rest of the team. He gets whittled down quite a bit though, but Sagan has an answer of his own. But that's the thing. Renegade there to heal him up, and now a third turtle of the game for the takings. Luis gonna go in, circling Yue already taking the brunt of damage, gonna get shot down by Sagan. Still gonna fight it down, heavy spin used, King gets the third turtle. Still gonna fight it out, the wild charge comes through. Edward has to get out of there, but Oheb to answer, finds the kill on Tekashi.
Nicely played by RRQ Akira. They force Yue to use the Purify as well as the Black Shoes to pull him out of position, but Tekashi, he's so greedy. He's like, one power in nature. Just give me that kill over Edward. Let me hold it above his head.
All right, say what you will about that, biting him in the behind, but something tells me RRQ Akira have to go that fast, have to be just a little greedy, because come the mid-game, and we're fast approaching, by the way, folks, despite being a 0-3 on turtles, I think Blacks International has a great future in them. And when I say future, I'm saying maybe 2 minutes in, because looking at that last engagement for that last turtle fight, you have to admit, Mana is life and life is mana. As long as Renegade has mana and his skills are on cooldown, RRQ are gonna have to think about how to use their kit very, very specifically.
And that's why Zagan feels like he's so neutered in this game. It's like, oh yeah, I hit the nastiest skill shot from the longest range possible. Renegade is like, what? Didn't feel that.
That did what?
That did what? Did it happen? Nah, don't worry, it's just a scratch. It's just a flesh wound.
That's one of the strengths, though, here and now. The focus, once again, the landing shot, but UA going to be healed back up. Gusta Lagusta also picking up that Malefic Roar, so they hold it together here. But RRQ Akira needs to be able to go toe-to-toe in a lot of these team fights and skirmishes.
Yeah, and so far still, you see RRQ Akira getting big wins, but it's not converting into real estate. Nothing on the map is going their way.
Oh, King trying to pull something off of there. Already using the heavy spin, now he's going to be the focus. RRQ Akira trying to hold on to this tier 1 in the top lane.
This is actually kind of interesting. I feel like RRQ Akira are getting a little creative with this, right? There is a possible angle where they're able to use the Circling Eagle Guiding Winds to pull King into a back position and use the heavy spin to push them outside of the turret range. It's a radical idea, but I don't know. It's going to need a little bit of testing from RRQ Akira to find the moment to do so.
Yep. Here we see 9 minutes in. Lord spawning in the lower quarter. Looking at the item game, still Oheb 1,000 gold ahead. Tekash fails to cancel the recall. What's the item game looking like here? Heptases, Malefic Roar, House Claws, the Fury already onto Oheb. Oh yeah, and again, key pickup here for UA. The Queen's Wand.
Oh man, I've missed seeing Oheb on an international stage. Just to see him, you blink 1 second and he's already 1,000 gold up, man. And he maintains it somehow.
Let's see if they can once again play around this objective. RRQ Akira knew what they had to do going to game 2.
Oh.
They've done an outstanding job still. Can they pull this one off? Louise going to use that Circling Eagle. They're trying to lure Blacklist International towards this side of the map. They got to watch out for Edward as well, looking for his own angle.
Everyone is visible. Save for Oheb. All right, he shows himself. All right, everyone is still visible. The statement still stands. I don't know where this dance is going, by the way. Both of them are willing to crack, I think.
I think both sides actually want to team fight pretty hard, but Renegade is being protected from all angles, and I think RRQ want to force out his ult.
Oh, they don't know where Abunjinjing is. The Echo spots out 3, make that 4. They don't know where Edward is.
Yeah, they got to watch out for Edward. He's hugging this side here, looking for his own entry point. He's going to force him back. Edward trying to focus him down, already using the Electro Final Blow. Gusta Lagusta, though, wants to kill. The heals are there. King gets the Lord, and they're going to run for the base. Gusta Lagusta is going to fall, but RRQ Akira gets the objective.
Whew, okay. All right. Ooh, boy. A lot of things are going on in that particular fight, and I think at the end of the day, just well done to King. Despite the chaos and madness, was still able to secure the Lord for themselves. But keep in mind, Oheb, look at him just chunk out these turrets.
All right, they're going to get the defense on tier 1 in mid. But I got to say again, Blacklist International is so good on the turn. Something tells me they don't mind losing out on the level 1 Lord.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's not Luminous. It doesn't have the added charge to guaranteed structures. And still, even without the charge, Edward is still finding places on the map to squeeze himself in to milk the gold out of RRQ Akira's structure.
Oh,
no, he should be okay, right?
Yeah, he should be fine. Yeah, he's quite tanky himself, but they're going to throw a lot here, trying to get that mid turret down. But still, Edward doing his own work. This is what he loves to do.
Come on.
Thumbs up, gives it to him, gets the turret. And Electro Final blows to safety. He's just fine.
Abunjinjing wails away, cracks that tier 2 up top with impunity. No one could tell him anything.
Yeah, Mr. Papadopoulos was able to find RRQ Akira slacking. All these motions and movements is starting to get to RRQ Akira's head, right? They got to calm down. They really have to assess the situation. They start overcommitting. That's when Blacklist finds the holes to get that gold in their pockets, because before this, it was 2-2, dead even. 500 gold difference. Now it's 1.7k only because they were caught slacking.
Yep. Something tells me RRQ Akira is holding out for one more big ticket moment. The clutch that they're looking for, that ramp up, they'll get more aggressive when Tekash says yes, when Tekash says go. Tekash has to hide in these bushes way better. He has to get that flicker while charge more consistently.
Oh, this could be his moment. He's actually looking for it here. They're going to press the go. But they're going to get whittled down here already. King being stopped in his tracks. Meanwhile, Edward pushing the top side. RRQ Akira, they've got to go answer to this.
Okay, at least respect the fact that they know the purifiers are up. If they pulled the trigger and forced it, they would have just bumped into Blacks International, they would have healed and then punished. So at least they know that.
I mean, the most that they would get is probably Oheb, since he's the only one without the Purify. He's just confident that he can get out of every situation regardless. But I think that at least for the side of RRQ Akira, it's starting to get a bit uncomfortable for them because they need their entire composition to be together to actually make something happen. Blacklist International are totally fine playing 4-1 here because remember, Benedetta is just so much faster on the rotation compared to Takashi's Grok.
Dare I say, it can be 3-1-1. It's Renegade and the other two elsewhere splitting up. It's just Renegade plus. Doesn't matter. He's the heel man.
He's now the heel man, from hitman to heel man, and working for this Lord now. Once again, like we saw previously, Blacklist International, they were fine even losing that first Lord, but this one they're going to want to fight. They're going to want to force RRQ Akira to dance here, and that's exactly what they do. Multiple anti-heal items also for RRQ Akira could help turn the tide of the fight.
Lord Dance already initiated. Blacklist with a slight advantage. Sensui with the pull and the hard reset by Takashi.
Nicely done coming in from Takashi. Keep in mind, King is a level ahead of Sensui, so generally it's in his advantage, but they gotta be careful, right? They gotta make sure that they're cleaning up these waves because Blacklist International are gonna keep pulling them apart. Look, Edward on the bottom side. Oh, whoa, hey,
they're gonna try to sandwich them off here in the mid lane. Yue gets the heal through.
Whoa!
King gonna use the heavy spin. He's gonna lock down Renegade, but where's the follow-up? They couldn't get it in time. Now Takashi goes in with a wild charge, but he's gonna get cut off from the team. Has to flicker out. Everything thrown here, and Blacklist International has the go for the Lord.
All right, good news for RRQ Akira. Louise and Saiken still have their flicker, but bad news is Blacklist International makes a beeline for the Lord. They're blitzing this.
That right there is just gonna be a free Lord here for Blacklist International at this point, and we'll see how they march into the base of RRQ Akira. Again, they have work to do. RRQ Akira trying to hold down as much as they can in the mid lane. But what can they do with this pressure from Blacklist International?
I think that RRQ Akira, they need to, I mean, besides the fact that they need to clean up some of their wave management overall, I'm actually quite proud of them. The fact that they've been able to hold on this long in this particular manner against Blacklist International, of all teams out there, their big plateau that they've been trying to take over since M3. But in the meantime, I think the only way that they're going to be able to get ahead is if they can bait out that ult coming in from Renegade, force him to use it like they did just now. I mean, everything was going well for them. They were getting everything except they were getting stat checked and the waves weren't in their favor. If we revert back time, if we had cleaner waves and we had the exact same execution, maybe RRQ Akira might have been able to bounce back.
We're looking at 16 minutes game time. Blacks International about 5,000 gold ahead. All waves crashing in, synchronized, orchestrated masterfully by the House of Black. They pulled through up top. Louis very low.
Edward already using that Electro Final Blow. They still have to deal with the Lord here in the base of RRQ Akira. Most likely will lose the second turret as they do in the bottom side, holding on to that mid lane base turret.
Oh, the only one left. The main artery that RRQ Akira have to protect. Long lane, dead lane. Blacks International is going to have the Lord dances of their lives. It's so much easier for them to get this Lord coming up in a minute and a half, but something tells me, I reckon, gentlemen, might not even get there because Blacklist, they want to push in.
They're going to push it in into the base. RRQ Akira trying to hold it down. They're trying their best. They keep them at bay, and with that, they stay in this game a little bit longer.
That was very, very nice coming in from RRQ Akira. Very, very nice indeed. Just nice movement coming in from Gusta. Lagusta getting out of the way from especially from the Electro Final Blow, right? Which is the main engage tool for Blacklist International at the end of the day, other than Sensui. But for the most part, you don't want Sensui to be that far forward, and more so that he gets split off. You don't want your front line to get split up from your back line, which is what King has been trying to do this entire game. He's gotten close, but not there. Not almost there, you know, not there just yet.
Okay, the fact that we're looking at 3-2 at about 17.5 minutes means RRQ Akira aren't forcing anything. They're letting these battle spells and these ults do the work for them, and they're paying the price on map real estate, on space. partly on farm, 6K is a pretty hefty gap between you and your opponents, but at least you're not losing immediately. You're still in this. You've extended the game to a point wherein you can learn, you can adjust, and you can force out these engages. And to be fair, I think this Lord, it's not as 100% the blacklist as it could be. But wait, they're engaging.
Luis gonna go with that circling eagle. Sensui was looking for his own entry point. Has to respect the damage though. Coming out from Gusta Lagusta, now Lord gonna spawn here as they get us situated. Still Edward putting the pressure on the bottom side.
No, RRQ and Kira have to get ahead of the game right now. They need to start proxying these waves as soon as possible. All these waves are going to be coming in from every single side, and if they don't get a solid grip on the management, it's going to be a problem, right? As long as Takashi is relaying the information on what exactly Edward is doing, RRQ and Kira might be able to make it happen. Oh, whoa, okay, that's interesting. He's actually so low!
He's playing with a little danger here. He still has the Black Shoes and the Purify, so will get healed back up. RRQ Akira, though, wants to put the pressure on Sensui. They're going to find the lockdown with a heavy spin. There's the heal, though! Bang! But they get the kill! King able to get it in! Takashi goes in with a wild charge, but they still have to turn the tide. Edward leading the front. They're going to back off for now. RRQ Akira still looking for more. They're happy with Sensui down, but they got to manage the waves as well into the base.
So many ults spent, so many battle spells spent for taking down one key hero. And they can't even capitalize because, again, as you mentioned, Joseph, they had to send people back home.
To me, I think it's totally worth it here. This is the first mistake we actually see coming out from Blacklist International. And now, whoa!
Oheb also in the front of the side here, still dealing with it. Takashi comes to join Edward, though, holding on with that immortality as well. They're buying so much time, waiting for Sensui to get back for this. Once again, Luis with the circling eagle. They'll find Yue. Now Renegade there. King can't find the lockdown on Oheb just yet.
Whoa!
Finds him in the corner. Shot's not going to land. He still has the immortality. They have to work for it. Immortality finally popped. Takashi looking for the follow-up. It's only King still waiting for it, but he's going to be whittled down. Guiding wind out. What a save from Luis.
The Brazilian Express from Manila to Rio de Janeiro. He saved King.
Oh my god, I thought Takashi messed up there, but no, all part of the plan. RRQ and Kira are here to play.
Oh, Edward's not done though.
Edward still keeping him at bay. This is going to be a Lord for Blacklist International. RRQ Akira, they're going to have to recuperate here and wait for Gusta Lagusta to get up to defend the base to stay in this series.
The long con. Amazing situational awareness by Blacklist International. You can mess up the pieces, but you can't beat the master plan. Amazing recovery from Blacklist, despite having noticed, if I'm not mistaken, the longest guiding winds I've seen in quite a while. They still have their eyes on the prize. Amazing Lord pickup, an evolved Lord scored by Black.
They're going to go ahead and zone out Sensui here with the wild charge as well. The immortality going to be popped, but Renegade and Oheb here, they want to get back to the base. Edward trying to cut them off, focusing on Gusta Lagusta. Has an immortality of his own. Lord now making its way down the mid side as well. RRQ Akira trying to hold it all together here. They're going to clear the waves. Immortality from Edward already popped. Still working for it. Takashi keeps him at bay. Sensui falls. Torn apart memory. Goes through. It's a double for Gusta Lagusta. The shot gonna land. Luis goes in, but they're done. It's a disaster for him as he gets taken down. But they stay in the game. RRQ Akira with a defense.
Overheat!
Blacks International could have ended right then and there. But RRQ Akira took down the minions, attacked the Lord, and believed in whatever's out there and said, you know what, we're not gonna go down like this. Not here, not now. Here's the instant replay. I could have sworn that was it. I could have sworn there was like a minion here, a minion there, and the Lord, I guess they were out of range.
I mean, look at it, right? All of it boils down to, does Renegade have his ult? That's all it boils down. And if we're thinking, hey, Blacklist, they're the ones who overheated. Guess what? RRQ and Kira do the same. They feel the exact same way. I'm an empath, of course I know.
Whew. Okay, to be fair, it's off of the back of Luis's call, and he believes there was enough damage remaining from those who were ready to take it. And I guess that's where it all crumbled. That's a clear sign of overheating. So now, we got a moment to breathe. We can digest what just went down. I gotta be honest, still not looking great for RRQ Akira. They've yet to crack anything from Blacklist.
Of course, they're not cracking anything off of Blacklist, but you can see that the ideas and the execution is becoming cleaner and cleaner as the game goes by. And strangely enough, Blacklist International finally getting punished for some of their mistakes. For an example, when we saw by that very second Lord, we did see Yue actually get chunked out, forcing Renegade to have to move away from Sensui to cover his butt and make sure that he's topped up. Instantly, we see RRQ Akira jump onto Sensui, and that's what started this bounce back from RRQ Akira.
And so far, RRQ Akira have been getting better, right?
Yeah.
We mentioned this, at the 16, 17-minute mark. Hey, they're learning. They're figuring out how to actually isolate members of Black from this Uber recoded, this Uber as it's known locally. I'm wondering what's next. I guess people have to stop overheating, and I have to admit, RRQ Akira is just outnumbered. You see the agents on the stands?
There's a lot of agents out there.
It's going to be a very, very silent haul if RRQ Akira win this. And I think that at the very least, when we're looking at the game as a whole, right, with some of the sloppy mistakes that happen, well, not really sloppy mistakes, but just like the general housekeeping, you know, you let the dust build up inside the corner, and all of a sudden it's a hornet's nest, right? It's the worst case scenario. That's worst case scenario. But you get the idea. These things start very, very small and build up very, very quickly. This is how Blacklists are able to etch out wins against some of the best teams in the world. They catch you slacking. They catch you throwing, you know, taking your spare change ever so slightly, and then it eventually builds up. I think that at least for RRQ Akira, the execution has kind of, you know, been minimized compared to game number 1. But if they want to win this game, if they can get Renegade to use his ult super early on and find a way to at least forcefully take Sensui away from that fight, there's an opportunity. And, well, keep in mind, that big target, that hit marker, it's not just Sensui. If they can get Oheb, that might just be game over.
Well, JC Sumandal says it's game. Indeed, it is game. The mandate of the King of Kings say, get the ult off of the Hitman, get those purifies off, and then we're talking business.
And with that, we're 30 seconds away from this next Lord here. So RRQ Akira, you gotta give props to them. They've done a great job. Their base has been exposed for a while, but they're staying in this game. And now we get to the point of this game where, you know, immortality start to play a role, Wind of Natures, the item jungling, and everything else between both these teams. Look at the real-time win rate.
All right, 75-25, that's pretty reasonable. That's not bad. All right, can I just say, I'm surprised. The gold lead just shrank, like in a snap, down to 700.
It's honestly not as bad as it seems, other than the fact that the structures are missing and they don't have any inhibitors. But considering that, you know, Luis is very clearly subscribed to Grab Unlimited, he is saving his members time and time again.
He's got that super app.
He's got the super app.
Anything you need, man.
Anything you need.
Shields, heals,
Wait a second.
positioning,
Hold up.
damage. He has a good amount of wisps.
He's got a good amount of wisp, but Sagan is really starting to double up on the damage compared to everybody else. The poke is actually putting in a good amount of work. And not to mention that Gustavo.
Whoa,
whoa!
Edward could be in trouble here. Gets away fine, though. Torn Apart Memory was going to be used as well.
No!
Dodging that shot as well. He backs off, trying to get back to base.
Close.
But RRQ Akira did it. This is what they wanted. They wanted this positioning for this Lord to at least start it up. Blacklist International, though, still here, healing back up with the heal man. And Luis taking the brunt of damage himself.
Okay, they need to go for the pull this time around, especially since previously, Gusta Lagusta, they know where he was. Big Astral Echoes there. Spots 3, maybe 4. Oheb protects his position. All right, here we go. RRQ Akira finally able to pull the Lord out.
This has got to be really annoying for RRQ Akira, right? They want to play a standard game, but they always have to do the housekeeping every single time. Chores. Blacklist International can patiently wait it out. It's not, the onus is not on Blacklist International to do anything here. And if RRQ Akira really want to start rolling the dice, I'm confident Sensui is probably going to win that out, especially considering that at least the Grok, he needs to be nearby, but at the same time, you got to clear that bot side.
And not only with that, again, Luis going to go in with a Circling Eagle, keeping them at bay, still dancing for this Lord here. It's about half health. RRQ Akira finding it very difficult to find the zone positioning to favor them. Black International knows that they're whittled down a little bit. They don't have as much heal as they do.
Oh no!
So Edward gonna force them back towards that side. Sagan gonna look at the damage there. They gotta respect it. Yue holding down that mid.
Man, if somebody is going to make TikTok... Whoa! Okay, no. They're not going to completely commit to this, right? They're not. Okay, they're going to back off. Thank goodness. Because if anybody's going to make TikTok content, you should see how quickly Blacklist International make that decision. They all of a sudden, they see Sagan on that top side. Let's start taking space. Sagan disappears. They start giving away space.
And slowly but surely, RRQ Akira have garnered up quite the lead. 1,000 gold ahead already. 26 minutes in. The patience between these two teams, fated as they are to face off against each other year after year after year in the M series. It's coming down to this, the fact that we might see a game 3 because RRQ Akira have been learning. They've been figuring it out and they've been taking care of their lanes, their waves.
Real talk, boys, at what point do you start screaming into your secret lab chair hoping that something is going to happen? Because I don't have the patience, and that's why I'm not a pro.
It could be here again. Edward jumping in the backside. Lord, a fourth of the health. Louise goes in. Oheb gonna get pushed back. Sensui also half health. Torn apart memory already gonna be used. Still whittling it down. Yue holding the front line and healed back up through Renegade. Lord resets again.
Drats foiled again. Both teams holding on. And again, the patience from both of them. They both know. They both are championship caliber world-class athletes. They know that patience is what holds you down, what changes the fact that you're still here and you're not losing. But wait, King holding this push.
They're trying to cut them off here. King could be in trouble. Heavy spin still has the immortality. Lord, is it going to go for another reset? Both teams still respecting the damage possible here. It's whittled down. It's going to come down. Sensui gets the Lord, wins the retry battle. Now Luis on the run alongside King. They have to get back to the base. They have to get ready for this defense.
That's a fumble. That's a fumble if I've ever seen one.
The problem is that the fumble happened so far away, right? Luis overextends, uses a circling eagle, jumps toward where King was hiding, forcing him to use the heavy spin. That was his only way to keep himself clean from CC.
Something tells me it was Blacklist International's initiative as well to let King and Luis take that long bush down bottom to position them for the perfect. Something tells me they manufactured the fumble.
They manufactured the I mean, I gotta hear some mic checks to know that for sure. It's all theoretical, but well played so far for Blacklist International as RRQ are on the defense.
They have to stay in the game.
Oh
Edward
no!
can jump in right on Gusta Lagusta, forcing the wind of nature. Lord's gonna be half health. They have to work it out. King using heavy spin. Can RRQ stay in for this game? Torn apart memory gonna be used again. Luis gonna fall. Base going down. The code is strong as Blacklist International sweeps this series.
History repeats itself as a Blacklist International once again defeats RRQ Akira in tonight's closer.
Oh man, as Blacklist International walk off the stage, at least RRQ Akira have left an impression. I'm not seeing too many smiles up there. It definitely shows that the rest of the world is slowly watching and creeping up on Southeast Asia.
Hey, if you're able to take Blacklist close to 30 minutes, you're doing something right. You pushed them to their limits. You made them have to figure out a way to make that Lord dance go that way. And look at this, the show of sportsmanship between these two teams. Hey, I face after year after year after year. They've evolved. Look at that. Louise, man.
Love to see it, man. Again, sportsmanship here. And like you guys mentioned, there was massive improvement this time around for game 2, right? You're looking at game 1, you look at game 2. This was quick learning, quick adjustment from RRQ Akira. Hats off to them for staying in that game even with an exposed base for so long. We'll see how that kind of transitions for the rest of their matches throughout the group stage here.
I think the only thing that RRQ Akira can really hold themselves accountable to is not the overall gameplay that they had in game number 2, was the fact that game number 1 went in that particular fashion because what? It felt like they were hiding it for so long in game number 2. When did that happen? Couldn't that happen in game number 1?
Well, I'm happy it came out anyways. Either way, this is the gift that keeps on giving. M5 We're here for it, and who'd have thought that we wouldn't have closed day 2 without seeing a return to form for Blacks International, picking up that Estes, which caught him a win. Now, I'm wondering who's going to be getting the MVP nod. You guys have any guesses?
Oh, MVP?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Something
I'm not
tells
sure.
Something tells me it's pretty spelled out.
Don't lose focus. That was spelled out.
That's one way. It's the heel man!
The heel man.
It's the heel man! Paying homage to the queen, of course. Again, life is mana and mana is life, and he made sure Blacklist was ready to take on any fight, and he never died. 106.
Literally an ult that is a linchpin for the entire composition. A big deciding point. Does he have it or does he not? The heel man strikes again.
Not to mention the 100% there. He was everywhere he needed to be, on point with the heals. We knew, even taking a look at the highlights here, we knew how integral that was for a lot of these moments in the game where they're able to turn the tide here in some of these early fights especially.
Yeah, I think that RRQ Akira should not be disappointed here in game number 2. They really played a solid game, some great decision-making overall, and actually forced out a couple of mistakes coming in from Blacklist International themselves, which doesn't happen very often. So, again, big hats off to RRQ Akira. But the things that we need to keep in mind is the fact that the small things, making sure that the side lanes are clean, making sure that you're able to stay on top of the minion waves and these smaller POIs, whether it be River Crab, whether it be Lethal Wanderer, it needs to make those small things to have that difference.
Check it out. This is that defense that a lot of us thought would have been it, right? But Blacklist overheated, RRQ Akira overheated, and then we got a reset, and we watched a game that lasted maybe 10 minutes longer.
Again, with instances like this, when you get to these, late game potential here, things can turn around really quickly, and really, even down to that last Lord, if it would have gone another way, where, for example, RQ Akira was able to secure that, we possibly could be going into a game 3. So again, it was a very well-timed initiation and just dance for Blacklist International in that one.
It really was, and I think, both sides definitely showed a lot of heart in that particular battle here. The patience coming in from the heel man himself, and more importantly, when we were looking at King specifically going for these contests, he was able to get a level ahead, which kept RRQ Akira in the game for this long to make it into that 20-minute mark.
That's right. He made the call. He made decisions wherein instead of trying to sandwich heroes into walls, he would have done it to minions to try to space them out. I think that's what bought them their second wind at the 22-minute mark, and then eventually they just got overloaded in the 29-minute mark, close to 29, 28, 27, wherein they were just falling like flies.
Yeah, and I even like Gideon pointed out, some of the usage that was being done by RQ Akira for King to find those lockdowns when he could worked out, but eventually, again, Blacklist International was able to just adjust from that and find their own moments of brilliance throughout this game and resulted, yes, it was a longer game, one of the longer ones here so far, up to this point, but again, execution and how they adjust real time in the game, it really worked out here for them.
Yeah, I'm looking at the damage taken, and I feel like the numbers aren't adding up here. King taking at least 281k. I'm looking at Louis' 222k, but Sagan's damage earlier was looking really, really good. So I don't know. It looks like at least when we're doing these calculations, the heal plays a intense